welcome everyone. We are doing another remote interview with a gentleman I just got to know really well all of a sudden, it seems like. We had a great conversation. So everybody say hi to my friend, my new friend, Glen Walker. Glen, how are you?
I'm great, and you?
Well, I tell you, you've got an incredible story that's very inspirational. So everybody listen to this one because it's very neat to see, we all go through hurdles in life. People know my story a little bit. I was hit by a drunk driver in a coma, came out of it, very lucky to be here. Other people just go through life and all kinds of crazy things. So we're going to essentially break this little interview up into two pieces, two separate um, discussions. One about his past and what he kind of overcame, and Glenn, what you went through a little bit in life, right? And uh,
Yes,
and then how you had to go through some hurdles and what you and how you overcame all that, and now you're a super successful HVAC expert. Is that true?
that's correct. Yes, it is.
And that's amazing. So maybe we'll have Glenn come sit right here. That's camera number three. And I'm switching between cameras here. I'm going to set this up to be automated because that's what I do. But for now, there's my sliding camera. We just got that one. Say hi to my camera guy managing that. Hey, there he is. His name's Slider. He's actually a machine, but he's sliding up there. So look at behind me on the wall, everybody. We have Glenn's website, Walker Heating and Cooling, LLC.com, right?
Yes, it is.
All right. So, Glenn, let's talk a little bit about the background, the history, if you would. You don't mind? You were okay with sharing your story a little bit. We might cut this video up into two halves. Literally, like I'll make it first half will be 8 minutes, or 5 minutes, or 3 minutes, and the second half will be about the same, whatever that is. And they can hear both halves. But the second half is the really exciting part. The first half is like, hey, holy cow, what'd you go through? And you made it. You took lemons. If like they say, I talk about lemons. I had lemons given to me. I was doing really well in life, and then I got hit by a drunk driver, and I turned it lemons into lemonade. Right? That's what we have to do sometimes.
Most definitely.
All right. So with that, we'll talk about it. So when you were a kid, I try to quote famous movies. When you were a youth, when you were younger, you went to Vashon, right? You're a native here, born and raised in St. Louis. You went to Vashon High School, is that right?
That's correct. Yes, it is.
And so that was a while ago. You can say when that was if you want to.
Oh yeah, back in the early '90s, I graduated in '94.
94. Okay. Well, I'm 4 years older than you, we know now, because I graduated in 90. So
Yeah,
you look pretty good. You look a lot younger than me. And that makes sense because you are at least 4 years younger than me. But you went to Vashon and then went in, and then we'll jump ahead from there. Vashon's a wonderful school. I know some of the people there. I've had friends go there, and I love Vashon. But you didn't play any sports there. So I was like, wow, everybody plays either basketball or football, it seems, but you didn't play sports in high school.
no, I didn't play sports.
And that's okay because sometimes we go off and do others. What did you do in high school? Did you do any, or did you just hang out with your friends? What do you think you did most of in high school?
Yeah, I mostly hung out. Done the bare minimum in class. Hang, just trying to be cool and running the hallways. But I didn't, but just knucklehead stuff in school.
I know lots of, I was not allowed, my parents were so strict. I'm not saying anything, but I didn't like my parents because they were mean. And all the other kids seemed like they got to do more fun. It's all each kid's different, whether they respond to whatever. And I'm glad my parents were so strict because I'm sure I would have got myself in a lot of trouble, no doubt. But you stayed pretty much out of trouble. Then you got in a little trouble later on in life, right? Is it fair to say?
Correct. Yes, it is.
And so what happened then? You said, "Hey, man, you went into a place where you're not to have a lot of freedom. Let's just say that, right? You were
Right.
in a place, and you had to. They were going to teach you a lesson per se by telling you, hey, life is limited for you now, so get it together, kind of thing, right? And
Yes.
what you were doing. You want to tell everybody what you got in trouble for, or do you want to leave that off the recording?
No, I was selling drugs. I sold drugs most of my youth. That was just one of the things, knucklehead stuff I did. So I ended up going to jail for drug selling.
Yeah, I said there's a lot of, like I talked to you about in our pregame prep. We call that the pregame prep. Wesley Bell was on my Cowboy and Judge show. He was brought on by the judge. Love those guys over there. CarShield, the judge is the lawyer for CarShield. He's Carter Law, carterlaw.com. And he told me, he said, we're going to have Wesley Bell on the show. And I thought, well, wow, that'll be a great discussion because Wesley Bell is a leader among leaders. And we got to talk about it. And I said, Wesley, I was fortunate to stay out of trouble mostly. I never really got in any serious trouble. I mean, a couple traffic tickets really, but anyway, I don't know if that was good or bad. My parents were strict, and I didn't like that. So that caused me to rebel a little bit in college, and then I got hit by the drunk driver, and that's where that led. But anyway, we were talking to Wesley Bell about it, like I said, and I said, Wesley, I've learned how to do computers really well. That's what I do for a living. I've done very well, and so I'm in a good place in life, and very fortunate. But I felt like, for me to further give back, I'd give back a lot of time in my community, the Cardinal Cowboy, visit kids at hospitals and schools and all that stuff. But we could give back more by teaching these kids how to use these computers. But in your case, by virtue of being in this facility that you had to stay in for a long time, you want to mention how long that was?
Yes, 12 years.
12 years. Okay. That's a long time for in life when you're, 20 something or
Yeah.
whatever, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, well, I want you to come in here and maybe talk about that story in the studio here sometime. So there's that camera shot there as I'm learning my new camera switches here, but we're doing it through different software we're using this time. But you, by chance, and I thought, was this a program they had available? He said, no, this was not a program that was available. This was just because you made friends with a guy with one of the guards. Is that what you said?
That's correct. Yes, one of the guards.
And what did he tell
And
you about? Tell that story if you would, real quick.
yeah, see, what the guard, his father worked with own HVAC company out there. And the guard just worked at the jail for the benefits, but he used to just tell us how much money he was making at HVAC on the weekends after work, and he just caught my interest. He seen how into it I was. He would just tell me, bring me different books, material, and stuff, help me study. I got my EPA card in there from studying through him. Old guy named Wagner.
Okay. Well, and that's Wagner gave you a little insight because I thought maybe it was an HVAC training program because I was saying, but it wasn't that yet. Maybe they do that some places. We'll talk to that. I'll talk to my friends. I have friends who I played football with that they were security guards. One of the guys I
Uh,
knew, he was a big lineman on the football team, and yeah, he said, yeah, man, I'm a guard at the facilities where they put people that got in trouble, right? And so, uh, prison, and so he said, man, it's a rough lifestyle in there. Was it kind of a rough lifestyle in there for you
oh
too?
yeah, yeah, most definitely. Yes,
But you made it through and you got out, and along the way you gotten this idea about doing this HVAC thing. Now, did you go to Rankin Tech for that purpose, or what did you go to Rankin Tech for?
yeah, that, for HVAC for that purpose.
Okay. And then when you got out of Rankin Tech, you had some amazing skills, the latest training for the best and all the latest technology, right? Because Rankin's pretty good about that. Is that true?
That's correct. Yes, it is.
And then you
I
ran into
came from the trade school.
Yeah, the trade schools, man, they really teach some valuable stuff. It's a lot cheaper than these guys like me. I'm college debt. How long do we have college debt for? It costs way more. And if I'd have just made more money and been more successful, if I'd started off doing the trades, we had Bryson Brown on the show recently. He was in studio here, and he went through a similar situation with you. He didn't go to. I don't think he ever he got any trouble, but he went through a tough, in the different part of the world that we all get segregated. That's just in our past lives and whatever. We grow up in different neighborhoods and all that stuff. But anyway, not everybody. I thought mixing it up, I think, is better for everybody. We all need to get to know each other better. And just because we look different doesn't mean we're really very much different. Would you agree with that?
Correct? Yes.
And so anyway, but Bryson was dynamite. He came on here and said, "Yes, man, I went and got in the trades. He got an electrical
Uh-huh.
profession. He became an electrician. He's got one of the best electrical companies you find, Wire Nuts. Check them out." And so Wire Nuts is a funny, cool name. I like that name, Wire Nuts. There's nothing more important than the nut that holds together the wires. Because if those wires don't stay together, there's no electricity, right? So he says, I connect people, I connect things, I connect the world, and that's what Wire Nuts does. But so that trade you have with HVAC, the issue, but what you learned is you got great training, but you had to get some experience. And it's that constant joke we talk about. I got to get a job so I can get experience, but I can't get a job unless I have experience. Is that what you ran into?
Most definitely. A lot of times, a lot of HVAC companies they want you to have 1-2 years experience before they hire you.
Right. And so you got that experience on the side after you got out of jail, out of prison, I guess,
Correct? Yes, I did.
because
Start working
your
at.
friend connected you.
Yes.
Very cool. And with that, then now we'll jump into let's talk about that just another quick second here. How long have I been recording here? I got to do it with my audio. It's the easiest way to tell. But we're up to, wow, that's been 10 minutes recording with that already. Okay. But that was really cool that's an amazing story. That's so cool. I love hearing about that because whether you get into computers like I would help kids get into and have a little bit with my stuff and friends and people that Carter will fix a computer problem. But I got two friends I know that like they are very successful in their careers. One of them just made lots of money, went to work for Microsoft. But he got into it because I said, you should check out these computer things. I didn't even go to college for computers. I went to college for media communications, but I ended up selling computers at Circuit City and then learned them that way. And then I went to ABE and became the Microsoft Exchange guy. And then I taught him about that. He says, "Oh yeah, I'll do the computer thing, and I'll do Microsoft." And now he's a Microsoft guy. So those are great stories for people like yourself. You went the HVAC route. Now let's switch over to as I'm going to click the stop button here so I make an easy edit. So stay tuned for the second half of this story, everybody, because here's where it really gets exciting and very cool. Is that all right with you, Glenn? We'll do a quick stop and we'll come back here with talk about where you're at now and how you're running a very successful business.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna click the stop button and we'll do that. Well, welcome back, everyone. We're here still talking with Glen Walker. This is the second part of the story, right? We got a history of Glen, talking to him a little bit about life and how he grew up and what he went through and overcame hurdles like we all do. And that's a great story. You should really listen to that first half of the interview. It's about a 10-minute little chat we had. So we're going to start here with what Glenn has really done with that, with it. Would you call it the second half of your life, maybe?
Yes, I would.
Okay. And so a lot of hurdles that Glenn overcame, and we're going to have Glenn hopefully come into the studio here sometime and sit down for a full interview in our studio because he's got a great story. But let's start off with, so you ended up getting work through a friend on the side while you just graduated from Rankin Jordan. I'm sorry, Rankin Jordan's a hospital I visit. Rankin Technical School. Yes. And so Rankin, that's a great facility. They could really give some great training. And that was for HVAC, but you needed to get experience. So you got some experience on the side working for a buddy or doing some side work. Is that how that started?
Yes.
And then you said, when did you just make the decision to start your own company? Because here you are, man. You got a great looking website. I'm going to put that up for everybody here while you go ahead and tell me, how did you get into that? How did that come about? And when did you start your own company?
Yeah. Because like I said, I was also working for my friend on the side, but also I had got familiar with like Angie List and Home Advisor, different little lead platforms, and I was starting to get calls when I'd be at work, you know, to come do the job, and sometimes I had to pass up the job because I was at work on the clock, and after a while, it just like it's not making financial sense to keep on turning down these jobs, making $13, $14 an hour when I was charging $65, $70 to come out, do the service fee. And I was like, I got to take a chance and see where I can go with this.
Well, I'm glad you did, man. And like I said, it's a very encouraging story for me to hear, and I love talking to you about it because, I mean, how many people in life they didn't go through what you went through, and what you had to go through in your past. And if you want to watch that first half of the interview, Glenn may make that available. I told him we'll share that publicly if you decide you want to. You pretty much shared it with me, but I want people if you want to watch that. It's a great story, Glenn. Thank you for sharing that. But
Well,
you decided then to go after it. And how many people do you know in life that like literally they have ability, they're smart, they've got what it takes, they just don't believe in themselves and they don't want to put the work in. Is that kind of the problem you see a lot of times with people that don't make it?
yeah, most definitely, because it's really it's out here for everyone. If you ready, if you want to go get it, work hard for it. And like it separate the ones who want it and the ones who don't. Hard work.
And you went out and did it. And now how long have you had your own company?
It's 10 years.
10 years.
Yes,
Okay, so
yeah,
you made it then. That's what they say. Any business that makes it 10 years, they have made it. They if you've made it 10 years, you're established, you're gonna be around for a while. Because 10 years is the magic mark. What do you think it is that you did, some of the things you learned in life and in your past, and we talked a little bit about that in that first show, that helped you to make it? Because it's there's hurdles for everybody. I don't care what happened to you. Mine was just
Yes.
unfortunate with a drunk driver hit us, but in your case, you got life threw you curveballs. What do you think to help get you through all that to where you're at now?
Well, the determination to not want to go back to where I had came from, when I made that mistake. So I didn't want to let a little downturn, a little slow week. It was so easy to go make a bad decision. So I just, had to keep focused about. I know I already wasted 12 years of my life. I didn't have anything, no more time to waste. So I had to make this work.
Yes, well, there you go. You only live once, right? And so, and especially when you're in that ripe prime age between, 18, 20, 22, and 50, 55, you start getting up to 60, you better have had something going for a good 10, 15 years because you got to have enough money saved up so you can make it that, have money there to pay for the stuff so you can retire and enjoy life uh,
Right.
without having to work every day. A lot of people tell me if this is what you feel is true about your business. Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Is that something you've heard before?
No, I haven't heard that one.
All right.
Oh, man.
That's all right. Go ahead and pick that up. But there's so many people that like they go off and do work, but they don't enjoy it. Do you enjoy
Oh,
what
yeah.
do you enjoy what you do?
Oh, yeah. Now I know what you mean. Yeah, because you see people all the time complaining about their job or whatnot. What they do, they don't like it, they don't enjoy it. Dread. I love going to work. I love going to do what I do.
And now you are a specialist. And what would you say is what you specialize in within the HVAC? Residential, commercial, homes, big homes, all over St. Louis. What do you specialize in?
Residential, homes. Yeah, residential. No, no, any size home, but yeah, residential is my forte.
Well, I see the reviews you've got on your website. I left the share up there for people to look at your website a little longer than I intended to. I was wanted to get us chatting here, but I stopped the share button so that. But as I master the way we're going to do these shows through this software, but I have a studio that I built. Likewise, I said I'm going to go after it. I was doing really well for a big national company. I was the number one sales guy in the entire corporation, 1,800 sales reps, consultants, really. But I understand the technology because I was an IT guy, so I'm not just someone saying, "Here, you buy this thing." I don't even know how it works. I knew how it works. So I get the good fortune of helping other small business owners like yourself do well with the technology and make and highlight those people and produce, built my own little studio. And so I just think it's awesome what you have done in life and what you continue to do. Would you encourage other kids, anybody in a career path like you started a little bit later in your career because you had hurdles to overcome that kind of led you where you started a little bit? Well, you mid 30s or so, or you were mid 30s, I guess, when you started.
Well, no, no, late 30s. Was turning 40. Really, like when I almost got late 30s,
Yeah, late 30s.
39.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so, but would you encourage people to get into the trades and master a trade that they can be an expert with then? Is that a good strategy for life?
Oh yeah, yes, I believe most definitely because what I see and saw so far, it's kind of trade is recession proof. Even during COVID, when we still was out there, people was working hard. People stuff still was breaking down. I didn't have a slow part during COVID. No,
Oh, really? Okay.
so
Yeah. Because that was a crazy time on our planet too, wasn't it? Well,
yeah,
well, like I said, I'd like you to come in here and sit in the studio sometime. I'm going to give you one of these little hats if you come in here, and it'll say, I was on Your Little Castle show on ABC here in St. Louis. That's my show, and
okay.
we appreciate you taking the time to do that. But if somebody needs help with their heating or cooling, is it fair to say you're an expert? You could 10 years of doing this now. You're good at what you do. They need somebody to help them. You can help them with that.
I'm the person for the job. Yes, give me a call.
All right. So say your phone number for everybody. I can see it on the screen behind me. There it says up there 314-224-9306. And I called that number earlier to get us coordinated for this. And that's your cell phone number. Am I right?
Yes, yes, it is.
So they're not calling some booking agent or something. They're calling you personally. They get to talk to Glenn Walker and you will say, I'll be available or I'll talk to you in a little bit, or I'll call you back. But you will definitely help people to get that problem solved because they got a problem with their heating or their cooling, like we talked about. That's an important problem to get fixed as soon as possible. Is that fair to say?
It's fair to say. Yes, yes.
And you're the guy to do the job.
I'm the
Cool.
guy. I'm the man for the job.
There we go. And how often is it the case where, and tell me if this is true. I had another gentleman, Tim Clement, does similar stuff to you, the same thing you do. He's electrical stuff too. And just to share a little bit, I won't mention their name because this is all about you. But as far as the company goes, but great interview. Tim's a great guy. He's going to come in here tomorrow and sit down with us in the studio. We're going to do a whole half hour with him, but maybe an hour. But anyway, one of the things he mentioned that is if you don't have your HVAC, you got problems. You people like literally like people get overheated during the summer, especially the elderly and sometimes babies and people with medical conditions. They got to get that fixed now.
Yeah, no, most definitely. That's nothing you can, especially with that St. Louis humidity.
Absolutely. Yeah. We joked on that chat though. I'll say it again here. It's a funny joke, I think, but it's not funny. Is it funny? It's funny. If you don't like the weather in St. Louis, wait 15 minutes. It'll change, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
And so good to know. I'm gonna put up here on the wall real quick again this time I'm gonna put up your fan page on Facebook so you can see a little bit that you share there with people so they can learn all about what you do in the community. So there it is. We're gonna fan page here. So let's share that real quick. And he's been working hard and it's just cool to see the good things in life when people are being successful and doing great work. So there is fan page and he's really got it going on there. And just give it up for being an awesome guy who is taking on the world and as I've got a song that my buddies wrote about me and the lyrics and I was surprised I didn't ask for this, but I was like very excited when I heard it. I thought, come on, this is a joke. And it says singing his song, proving them wrong, and doing that. And that song will apply to everybody because it's all about how you can conquer the world. And Tim's doing a great job there. I'm gonna put over there on his website one more time. And while I was doing this, he had another call come in. He had to take care of. So thanks for spending time with us to talk about this. But there's that website again. Check him out. All the services, all the reviews. It's all one page. If you scroll down, that's a very strategic thing to do so that you don't lose people. If you click on a page, it goes off to a separate page. See, it just took him further down on the page here. And then, sorry, it bounced. Okay, there we go. Reviews. And so these are all built into the site. They're separate pages. I'm sorry. It looks like one page. There's some reviews there too. And it kind of makes it good. But he's got it together. Great looking website. And yeah, he's got it. There we go. See there, that went down on the same page. That's what I was talking about. So good work. A great website. 314-224-9306. And he literally jumped on a call because he had people calling him at 8 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night. We did this interview. We often meet with people after hours because it's easier for them, right? They want to get work done, and then some of people work late night, right? And so hopefully we get you to come in the studio. We get you one of these your little castle hats. Maybe I'll meet you out sometime. Maybe I'll have you do some work on. Got a couple of properties I help manage with my mom and my girlfriend. All the property owners are these very hardworking, sharp ladies who have done well. So that's cool. I get to work for them, right? And help them run Airbnbs. I'm helping people with Airbnbs. We've done very well with that. You want to talk about that? We might recommend to maybe help do some with the Airbnb. You got to get that air conditioner working all the time, right? So that's awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you all for staying tuned here for a minute for this particular rendition here of the Your Little Castle Show. This is a web gem. We might put it on the TV show too. We're always looking for good content. And we're always looking for good people. And so I'll go and put that back over here. But there is the website, and on the other page is the Facebook page. And look for great people and those that are making a difference. Stay tuned for more, everybody. This is the Your Little Castle Show. All right, now, giddy up.